How you feeling physically?
Um, you know, for someone that's done some of the stuff I've done, you'd be surprised feeling okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's guys that just do fucking basic basic wrestling, never fell off a building in their life, and they have trouble getting up in the afternoon. I've been at it for 18 years now, and I've done unimaginable stuff to my body, and it's hard getting up sometimes, but also for someone that hasn't fallen off a 30-foot ladder into a pit of death, uh, it's hard for them to get up. So for me, I think I'm doing pretty good. Just need to see the chiropractor more and maybe get into that DDPY, and maybe I'll be good. But yeah, I'm surprised how my body's hold up.
You talk about falling off a building. Can we talk about that
Oh man,
crazy steel
I've
match?
talked about it so many times.
Yeah.
That actually happened in Howell, right by you. Um, the Game Changer World. I drove past it the other day. I was going to the mall in Freehold. And I think it might be a gun store now or something. I don't know, but it's where it went down, and I did that, and you know, that was really what put me over the top. Being on it was on Fox News the next day and ESPN on television. And I'm laid up in bed, and people are calling me like, "You're on this, you're on that." I'm like, for an indie spot at the time, that was just you know unprecedented. So that's really what blew me up.
What was the injury out of that? You had to have had something go wrong.
Yeah, I just cut my thumb. Just a deep cut. Cut the tendons and ligaments in my thumb. I was back within 3 months. They didn't think I was gonna get full motion back, but I worked hard at it and I got full motion back. So luckily, it was just that. But if you watch it back, just the way I was positioned, like I came a foot away from hitting the bars on that truck, and that would have been donezo for me. It would have been all over the TV for different reasons. But
Wow.
I survived, and I'm still here. So
Who contacted you for AEW?
I mean, I did. I when I found out they were doing the All In show, um, uh, I hit up the Young Bucks. I really didn't. I wasn't. A lot of people have misconceptions, and I was buddy with them before AEW or All In. And we just knew each other through. I think I was on one or two shows with them before that, and they were just a fan of my internet presence. And kind of, they were like some of those guys, the Bucks and Cody. They ran their own show, and they were looking at someone like me who was running my own show, my spring break show. And they're like, we could do that, but we could do it on a much grander scale and do 10,000 people because how over we are right now. So when I hit them up, like it was a no brainer to put me on. And it wasn't like, give us a day. It was as soon as I hit them up, they're like, yeah, sure, you can be on the show. Because kind of what I was doing, they wanted to do on a bigger scale. So they put me on right away. And at first, initially, my opponent was going to be Bubba Ray Dudley. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Thankfully, um, because I don't know if I would even sign to AEW after that. But yeah, it turned out that Hangman Page needed an opponent, and they wanted a batshit crazy match, and you know, we sold the show even though we went 8 minutes over our time. I didn't know anything about time. I'm an independent wrestler. I never did TV, never did any extra work. I never did any of that. So like, we can go over time as long as we kill as long as the crowd is going crazy. I didn't know anything about pay-per-view times or anything like that. So even despite going over time, we had a great match. We killed it. Everyone was talking. We stole the show. And after that, they started me up. They said, uh, "We're going to do a wrestling TV show that's going to be on TNT." And I was like, "That's crazy." I grew up watching WCW, and I said, "I'm in."
Right.
And my knee was blown out at the time, and I blew it out 2 weeks after that show in a match with Psychosis. I did a crossbody outside, and he didn't catch me well, and I tried to plant my feet, and the floor was slippery, and I blew out my MCL, my PCL, and whatever. I blew out my entire knee, everything but the ACL. I blew out. So um, I was set. I was champion for Gabe uh, which was kind of the feeder company for NXT at the time. So I thought that was going to be my route into the next level. But my knee was blown out. The Young Bucks hit me up, and Tony Khan signed me when my knee was blown out. And that was great because I started getting paid 6 figures right away. Not all at once, but of course,
Sure.
checks to build up to a figure yearly salary while my knee was blown out. And I didn't have to do anything but focus. And your old partner was the one that rehabbed me, of course. Chris,
Haha, nice.
one of my
He's the
great
best.
friends in wrestling, one of my great friends.
yeah.
He rehabbed me free. I would go there 3 days a week. He got me back in 5 months. I was supposed to be out for a year. Who knows if that was smart, but man, I did it. I'm fine now. And, I didn't, since those paychecks coming in, I didn't have to pour myself out on social media saying, buy my merch. Because, I didn't have a job. Wrestling was this was my living at the time. So I just started making a good living on the indies when this happened. So Chris got me back, and the paychecks were coming in. All I had to do was just focus on my knee, and that's it. So that was good, and that was how I got in AEW. And at first, it was cool, and the train was 100% behind me at that time.
You want to plug your stuff? If promoters want to reach you, if people want to get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can get in contact with me on Instagram, the Bad Boy Joey Janella, and Twitter, Janella Baby.